Welcome to Yo-Yo Talk. This is episode 90 or something like that. I think I've officially lost count. We've done so many episodes. I believe I have more episodes than viewers now. I don't think we've got the chat up there, but we'll work on getting that chat up here in a second. And as soon as we get that chat showing, we want everybody to check in and let us know you're watching. And so feel free to go back and check out some old episodes for little pearls and nuggets about yo-yo history that you may have forgotten or just not seen. But please keep in mind, if you have time for that, you lead a very, very sad life. So lots of different things to talk about tonight. But of course, at the end of the show, we will still have our trivia contest. And that will come through the chat, which I'm sure we'll be getting up here in a second. Sorry, no awards or gold doubloons for winning this trivia contest. Just personal ego satisfaction and, of course, immortality. And as always, this is a live show, so please check in with the chat as soon as it pops up. And let us know that you're watching. And make comments and ask questions. That's what keeps this show interesting. And I'm using the term interesting very loosely. Now, the biggest thing going on right now, of course, is the nominations for the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. Vegas odds makers are closely watching this. We have several nominees, and I'll show you who those are in a second. If you haven't put in a nomination yet, I would encourage you to do so. You can do this by going to our Facebook page. That's Doc Lucky's Yo-Yo Talk Facebook page. The link is there. I just reposted it later today. And we also will have a link in this episode's description. I believe last episode we had a link there too. So you can click on that. And I believe there's a link in the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts. Any of those spots, you can find the link and make your nomination. And of course, just a reminder, you can actually nominate two people. You can even nominate yourself, but I will know, and I will make fun of you on the next show. So there is a nomination. As you do the nominations, there's one for the classic or golden age demonstrators or people involved in the hobby or sport. They should have been participating in yo-yos prior to 1965, and we'll select one inductee out of that category. And then we have the at-large category, which you also can select one nomination, and we will take two people in the end as out of that category to make our total of three inductees. Those people at the at-large must be involved in yo-yos for at least a minimum of 10 years. Okay, so I am going, and that's to just get in the pool of the final 10. Everybody will get in unless we have more nominations, because we only have about 10 right now. But I'm sure we will have more. Last year we only had 10 nominations. So I'm going to show you the current list right now of who the current nominees are for 2025. Rei Iwakura, 7-time world champion. 6 of those world championships were in off-string play. And yo-yo historian Paul Boothie, team high performance member, top player in the 1980s and 90s. Jerry Vidine, post-World War II Duncan demonstrator, toured in both U.S. and Europe. Hank Freeman, 3-time world champ in the 3A division. Brandon Vu, #1 in social media followers with over 1 million YouTube subscribers. Gustavo Velez, Russell yo-yo demonstrator from the 70s through the 90s, toured in 53 different countries. Golden Age players: Dick Moffitt, promotion manager and demonstrator for both Cheerio out of Canada and Russell Yo-Yos. Tom Parks, Duncan yo-yo demonstrator from age 14, best known for Duncan's VHS video, How to Be an Expert with Tom Parks. Nemo Concepcion, one of the original 1930s demonstrators, best known for the documentary from the 70s, Yo-Yo Man. Jerry Vidine again, which we've mentioned in both categories. Tommy Ray's original 1930s Duncan Yo-Yo demonstrator, later Royal, and later owner of the Eagle Yo-Yo Company. All righty, that's the list we have so far of all the candidates. We're still working on the chat. We'll have it up in just a minute or two here. Now, all of those candidates are obviously worthy inductees. If you haven't nominated, please nominate somebody. Even if they're already nominated, again, the top 3 with the most nominations automatically go in the final pool of 10. The current Hall of Fame members will then select 7 others to go in that final pool of 10. And trust me, these guys are not immune to bribes. Last year, we only had 10 nominees, so we did not have to go through the selection process. It just went straight to the final vote. So there were no trips to the Bahamas or shopping sprees on Rodeo Drive for the Hall of Fame board. But maybe this year we'll get enough nominations to make bribery worthwhile. So anyway, get those nominations in. If you happen to know somebody that's been nominated, please email them and let them know they are nominated, because a lot of times these folks have no idea they are nominated. So spread the word. And if you have other friends in the yo-yo community, please forward the link to them. The more nominations, the better. Now, I was texting with John Ray, who has the Playmax Museum online. I think it's only online anyway. And he was trying to sell a couple of yo-yos, and I told him I'd put them up on the show here in case there were some interested buyers. Here's a little video clip of what he has. I was texting with John Ray yesterday. He has probably the world's largest Playmax Pro-Yo collection out there. He's got literally everything. And he does periodically sell off some of his stuff. And I guess his daughters are starting their own company called Zack Blast. And I'm not sure. It looks like the money from some of the sales are going to go to their website. But anyway, he's got some yo-yos for sale. This one here is a prototype rubber turbo Bumblebee GT. He's asking $1,500 for it. And then he's also got a couple of honeybees, which he's asking $750 for. Now, I don't really have my fingers on the pulse of the Pro-Yo Playmax market. I know some of them go up, obviously, for hundreds of dollars. So I can't tell you whether these are good prices or bad prices, but I just let the collectors decide. And if they are a great deal, then I'm sure somebody will contact them and put in for buying those things. But anyway, I guess they're going to have a website, this Zack Blast. There it is, www.zackblast.com. So check it out. And again, that is not a paid promotion. Wish it was, but obviously we're just putting stuff up to help collectors out by letting them know what's out there. If you have yo-yos you're trying to swell, got a photo, just send it to me and maybe I can get it up and get it out to the other collectors. Now, if you have comments regarding those yo-yos, please keep them nice. Collectible yo-yos are very sensitive and their feelings are hurt very easily. So, but I would love to hear your thoughts, and I'm just interested in what people think about the value of those particular yo-yos are. So we got the chat up and going now, although it's too small on my screen to read. I think I made out Canada Jack's watching, maybe Rick Rentz. Who else we got up there? Did I see, is that Fred Lindsay? So welcome, guys. Glad you're watching. If you happen to be extremely lucky, last Saturday evening, oh no, actually it was Sunday, this last Sunday, at 6:30 p.m., and you were watching memorable entertainment television, you might have noticed that I was on the show Collector's Call, and I'm going to show you just a little clip talking about that. As I mentioned, I was on a show Collector's Call, which is on memorable entertainment television channel. It was hosted by Lisa Welshel, was Blair in The Facts of Life back in the 1980s. Anyways, a really well-edited show. It moved along very nicely. A lot of my patients let me know they had watched it. I was surprised how many. the gimmick of the show is they bring something to trade with the collector to see if they can make a trade. And they brought a box of these Flyback yo-yos, and they wanted to trade for an Orange Bird and a Smothers Brothers yo-yo. So what do you think? Did I make the trade? Well, I'll tell you, I did. As you know, I only trade duplicates, so it was a good deal for me. They also had their expert do some valuations. Here are some Disney yo-yos from 1958. Now, he is a Disney collector, so he valued them a lot higher than I thought they were going to be. He also valued this laser yo-yo, which is prototype, probably one of a kind. And that was a nice little valuation there, too. Although I must admit it would be a very hard yo-yo for me to sell even at that price because I show it off so much. But anyway, fun show. If you get a chance to see it in a rerun, they did a really good job. And I've been on a lot of collector shows, and this was probably the best edited one I've been on. Thanks for mentioning the QR code here. My wife puts them on my clothes, so when the police find me, they can learn where I live at. So that was kind of you. I don't know how that. This is stuck on really good, but thank you for pointing that out. This is why it's a live show. So a couple of behind-the-scenes tidbits on that Collector's Call show. You noticed I was about a head taller than she was. Well, what you didn't know was she was standing on a half apple box. So I really towered over her, and they had to have her stand on the box so we would all still fit in the frame of the camera. I also had a person on the show a person that watched the show named Michael English, who was a cartoonist, and he sent me this old cartoon that he had published, which he thought it was funny because I had mentioned about how the yo-yo was kind of the Nintendo of the 30s and the 40s. We also got an email from a fellow that had this box of yo-yo. He wasn't wanting to sell them. He was just going to give them to me if I could stop by, but he's several states away. But anyway, you've probably seen these 10 yo-yos before, probably early 70s, might be as late as 60s, late 60s, I don't know. Individually, these sometimes pop up on eBay, but they're what I call NWPs, not worth the postage. But it was very kind of them to offer to let me stop by and pick up the box. Okay, let's see anybody else here that's checked in. Can't read the names, but thank you for watching. We'll have to somehow expand that when we get to our trivia contest later in the show so I can see who's getting the correct answers. Okay, okay, there we go. Now we go. Oh, Simcoe's on there. Fred, Scott Lindsay. Okay. Jack, Canada Jack's watching. Good. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. If anybody's out there watching, please sign in. Let us know you're watching. Haven't seen the Nickinator sign in yet, so anybody could possibly win the trivia contest. We'll see what happens there at the end. Okay, let's talk about some collectible yo-yos because that's why most of you people are watching this show. I saw this nice little item on eBay just recently. This is from France. Go on and there you go. It's a Banania. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. It's from France. It's from 1935. And I didn't know anything about it. I had to look it up. This is some kind of chocolate mixed drink that apparently was very popular in France. It came over, some Frenchman tasted it in Nicaragua and figured out the formula and brought it to France, and it turned out to be quite popular. Now, this was a little promo for that. What you did was you cut out the little cardboard things, you put 2 coins, you put a washer down and 2 coins, and the French 5-cent piece back in the day had little holes in them, so you could tie a little knot on the end, glue it together, and make you a little yo-yo out of it. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool. Might be nice to have to show, and this was during the time in 1935 when that yo-yo craze was going on. But they were asking $58, which was a little steep for a little card, I think, even though it was from 1934. But the postage was $117. Give me a break. The tariff rate for collectibles in France is only 10%. It seems to me the seller is putting his own tariff on. As a general rule, I usually say that if the postage is more than the item you're buying, it's probably not a good deal. So I might pay as much as like $30, including postage, for something like that because it's old and a little bit historic. But that, to me, was an insane price. And as far as I can tell, it did not sell or even get a single bid, which is not surprising, I don't think. So it needs to come down a bit before it's going to get collector interest. All right, this next item is a carved Indian yo-yo. I have one of these, so I was surprised when I saw it up on eBay. So apparently this wasn't a one-off homemade carved Indian yo-yo like I thought it was. Apparently somebody actually manufactured these. Surprising, but even more surprising is somebody even bought them. So I still wouldn't consider this highly collectible, but if somebody finds provenance to let us know, like the actual manufacturer, then all of a sudden this yo-yo becomes much more collectible. And I'll show you an example of how that's happened here. Let's go to my side camera there if I could. Okay, this is a yo-yo I have a long time. I had no idea. I'm trying to center this, going the wrong direction. No idea who made this, where it came from. And so it has a seal, but it doesn't really have any provenance. In other words, we don't know where it came from. And then just recently, I got this, and this is, and I probably got this in like the quarter box at a garage sale somewhere. And with that, the seller probably got a good deal at that time. Now, so NWP, so this popped up on, and I'll do a kind of a side view here because it won't fit on the camera otherwise. Let's see, let me pull it this way so you can see everything. Okay, so this is the yo-yo, and it turns out this is a Hallmark yo-yo. It's sold for 69 cents. So now, and this is probably early 70s. So now we actually have provenance on this yo-yo. So even that loose yo-yo has some value because we know it's a Hallmark, we know it's from the 70s, and we know its original price was 69 cents. However, even having provenance, it still doesn't move a loose one of these yo-yos out of the NWP category, but now it can go in the 50-cent box at a garage sale and be a good deal for the buyer. So there you go on that one. And speaking of provenance, I recently got this very early Flores yo-yo from Bill Du Bois Blanc. He purchased this a long time ago with a small group of other Flores yo-yos. And is the video not going to pop up? Let's see, that's not it. That's the picture. We're trying to pop that video up here. Let's see if we can get it, because this is a pretty cool piece. It's worth the wait, folks. It's worth the wait to see it if we can get it up here. We are trying. There we go. Okay, there it is. So this is, a lot of collectors don't realize this, but Flores, before he started making the Flores yo-yos with the yo-yo on it, he had other yo-yos, and he hand-painted them. Now, these two in front are probably Flores yo-yos, but no provenance. They're just got paint on them, but they're Flores shaped. But this one we have provenance for because it is a painted yo-yo by him. He had a certain artistic style that he used. This is a Flores yo-yo. You can see in the mirror on the back there, the little kind of funky pattern. He would put a face of a 20 style person with a hairdo, that sort of thing. And then he would have a funky little kind of graphic on the back. Now, so these are really, really rare. There's probably less than 6 of them known to exist. And that would be an amazing Flores to have in your collection. And by definition, because this was probably made in 1927 or maybe even early 28 before he produced the actual Flores yo-yo, it would be considered a bandalore by most people. Now, I want to show you another example of one of his Flores yo-yos, so you can see the similarities in the artwork here. It should be, okay, that either one, just show the backside or the front side there. Okay, there's the backside. So you can see the funky design on the backside. That was pretty typical for him to put a funky little design there. Now let's see if we can go to the front of the yo-yo. Okay, so you see exact same style of painting on a Flores yo-yo. He probably made a bunch of these. He sold them in a jewelry shop. That's what got Flores started with the yo-yos. Probably had some like that we had in that image where he just had different types of paint jobs on them. But it's these that have the images of the women from the 20s on there that we can actually identify as Flores yo-yos. Now, this next thing I'm going to show you is new, and it's probably something that I think will change the yo-yo world in a little bit. It's called the Yo-Yo Hex, and it looks like it's made out of 3D printed plastic. So the idea of this is that it holds the yo-yo string loop there in place, so when you can reach down really quick, grab it, pop it up, and it is ready to throw. Now, I haven't seen this in contest yet. It's out of Australia, so maybe they're using them there, but I can almost guarantee you we're going to see these nationals and worlds, because you know the competitors will always bring a couple extra yo-yos, put them in the front of the stage just in case the string breaks or it gets knotted. This is going to allow a rapid feed into the hand of the yo-yo, so you just go in and you can immediately make your throw. So I think you're going to see this Yo Hex in the competition realm, and I bought, I don't know if it'll ever be collectible. Maybe these first versions will be, but I went out and bought a couple just to have, and I'm going to put some of my throws on there. It's kind of cool. So anyway, it's out of Australia. I don't remember where I got it. I might have seen this on Etsy, but I'm not sure. But check it out. And if you're a competitive yo-yo player, I think you'll be using this on stage at some point in time. Now, a few days back, it was my birthday, and I'm always shocked and surprised when somebody gives me a yo-yo that I don't already have. Of course, I always appreciate duplicate yo-yos, but this year, 3 different people gave me items that I didn't have, or I should say, partially didn't have in one case. And I'm going to show you something now that's really, really scary. And this is appropriate because we're in the month of October, and I was even thinking about doing a little segment on Halloween yo-yos, but I didn't have enough time to get around to doing it. But showing this should scare you to the core, because it's what happens when you find a yo-yo that you know is really collectible and you think you're going to get a great deal, but then you turn it over and this happens. As you can see, this is the Ronald McDonald Championship yo-yo. That's the Russell yo-yo. And oh no, Mr. Bill. Okay, so it's missing its back cap. So I've had this a long time. I think I originally had it with the back cap. I don't know where it went to. I'm still looking for it. But anyway, it's sad. I feel like I'm hiding a great secret, because when I have this on display, nobody realizes the back cap is not on there. So to tie this into my story, my wife gives me a yo-yo for Christmas that she found at just a local antique shop. And here it is. It's the same yo-yo, but lo and behold, it has the back cap on it. So now I can say, I can show this proudly without feeling like I'm hiding some big secret. And she got it for $30. And the reason I didn't get another one of these is everybody's wanting, these darn Russell yo-yo collectors will pay big bucks. So people are asking $150 or more for these Ronald McDonald yo-yos. And this is a Russell, was I believe from Argentina, and it goes back to the early 70s. Probably the most collectible of the McDonald's yo-yos if you're into collecting McDonald's yo-yos like I am. So I was very excited to get that from my wife. So we also, and I wish I would have, when I turned that over, I should have played the music from Psycho. We're in the shower scene, because that would have been appropriate. Oh, okay. So let me see. What else did we get here? Well, my son gave me a Spider-Man box yo-yo, which I'd never seen before. And it has Spider-Man playing the yo-yo. Didn't even know that little figurine existed. So that was very cool. And then we got this yo-yo from one of my swimming buddies that swims the lake with me every morning. This is the Invader Zim yo-yo. Now, I've never even heard of this show, and I'm big into cartoon character yo-yos. So I had to go look this up because I had never heard of this cartoon character. It turns out it was a show, and it only had one season in 2001 on Nickelodeon. I guess they were kind of pushing the limits on being edgy for a kid's cartoon. Well, apparently, after it was canceled, it became a bit of a cult classic, and then there was all this merchandise spin-offs, and I think they maybe even had some kind of Netflix movie. So very cool that I got it. I still don't know if this is merchandise that was just recently released or if this is back in the early 2000s. I suspect this is more recent, but if any of you guys know any more about this particular yo-yo, I'd like to find out when the yo-yo was released. I have a feeling it wasn't released in 2001 when the show was on the air. But anyway, a cool gift from Pete Gold, who does that lake swim with me every morning. Let's see. Let me show you a couple more things before we get to that trivia contest. This is a little, and I don't know if I can get the whole pack on there, but this is a little combo pack or a Pepsi and Mountain Dew yo-yo. Never saw this before. It has strings, multicolored strings in there. And it was around 1999 this was released. So I was just surprised to see it. I always like to get these new 20th century yo-yos, and this would still fall into that category. What else do we got here? I did want to show this because this is a cool yo-yo, because this is incredibly hard to find. This is a Duncan Topps yo-yo. The seal on this one is almost complete. You can see all the letters. These almost all have the letters cut off right here on this. It's like the stamp didn't print good. So when you find one with a complete seal, you've got a really rare one. And this is from the 30s. So when you see these patent pending on them, you know you've got one probably prior to 1935. They kind of quit using that patent pending on them after the early mid 30s. So just wanted to show you that. We wanted to show you this. This is the Festival Yo-Yo from 1965. This is what they came in, the Be a Sports series. You can see it's a Festival Yo-Yo. It's kind of hard to find these in the original boxes, especially nowadays. I did find this yo-yo on eBay with a bunch of other ones. It was pretty inexpensive, but they didn't make these yo-yos, I don't believe, like this after World War II. These would all have been pre-World War II. And some of the advertising yo-yos, these have very sharp edges. So you're not going to get away with selling a kid's yo-yo with that after World War II. But before World War II, they didn't care about kids. So have a lot of them. A few of them died. Nobody mattered. But so anyway, the advertising yo-yos a lot of times were made like this, and I believe some of them were actually Bandalore. So it's really hard to date this, but I think this is probably from the 30s and maybe even earlier, because these are just kind of pressed tin yo-yos together. I did have let me show you. This is a cool yo-yo I picked up. Probably cool to me, maybe not to you, but this is a Yu-Gi-Oh yo-yo. You can see the card back there. If you're into Yu-Gi-Oh, which I was with my kids, we used to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I had never seen the Yu-Gi-Oh! Yo-Yo. The box is pretty beat up, but I was happy to get it because fond memories, and that's why we collect yo-yos too, is that it does bring back some fond memories. So I have the memories of playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game with my card game with my boys, and some of those cards are quite collectible now too. And then I've got a little yo-yo here. I have 41, now 42, smiley-face yo-yos, and Dano the Mano came over and wanted to do some trading, and lo and behold, he had a Russell smiley-face yo-yo, which I didn't even know existed. Don't know the year on this. If any of you guys out there know what year this came from, please shout it out, because I would like to know a little more about this particular one. I see John Bozung is here. Jimmy Johnson is here. Dano the Mano is here. And I'm sure Dano got a great trade for this. I don't even remember why we traded, but it was a good deal for Dano. I'm sure of that. All right. I think we're getting down. I don't think I have any more yo-yos to really talk about. Wait. I do want to revive my Nasty Dog of the Day. Go on and play my Nasty Dog of the Day clip. We are. You got to see the clip to appreciate the Nasty Dog of the Day. Did it disappear on us? It's down near the very end. It would be right before the trivia. There it is, right there. Boom.
Nasty, nasty dog of the day.
All right. So basically, the Nasty Dog of the Day is my choice for something that I find outrageous on eBay. It's either the asking price is insane, or it's maybe not what they say it is. In this case, the Nasty Dog of the Day was almost this Home Alone yo-yo. $350. And then they have the audacity, to want to charge you $8.75 for delivery as well. But this is not my Nasty Dog of the Day, because there was another one up there for $400. Okay, so now I love Spectra Star yo-yos, and you know, the Home Alone yo-yo is a good yo-yo. It's not one of the more common ones, but you should be able to pick it up for probably under $35. So anyway, when you see these prices, you just got to roll your eyes and go, unless I'm wrong and there's some Home Alone cross collector that thinks that's just the cat's meow and will pay those kind of prices. But anyway, I always get a chuckle when I see those super high prices. All right, we've reached that time of the show where we're going to do our trivia contest. So I hope that we will have everybody participate, because like I said, this is for honor and glory. You just go into the chat. We do this by the first person that the answer comes up, and we just kind of keep a little loose running score of who's got the most questions right the first time. And so I guess we might as well. Anybody seen if the Nickinator signed in? So I think it's an open contest tonight. I haven't seen the Nickinator sign in. It would be nice if he's here, because if you do beat the Nickinator, you're beating the GOAT of trivia contest. But he's not here, so you'll just get the win for the month, and we'll go from there. Of course, like I said, it's just an ego builder and immortality here. So, so for the first one, it turns out, and I learned this yesterday, did not know this. It turns out, let's show this yo-yo. Okay, did not know this, but the bee has a name. What is the name of the bee? What is the name of the bee? All these Pro-Yo, Playmax bees out there, the bee actually has a name. Did not know this. Did not know this until the other day. So I just want to know the name of that bee caricature that are on all these Pro-Yo Playmax yo-yos. Oh, Dano the Mano. Already got it. Good job. I think Dano was the first one. Simcoe was slightly behind it, but it is Zack Blast. Zack Blast. Dano the Mano. You're the man. You're the man. I did not know that. I had no idea the bee actually had a character name. And if you were watching, that was the website that they were setting up that I was talking about earlier in the show with John Ray and his daughters. They were saying this is zackblast.com. So I presume they'll be selling Pro-Yo Playmax yo-yos on that website. Okay, next question. I'm going to show you an image. Okay, this monument is on what yo-yo and what is the year? What does it represent? On what yo-yo and what is the year? That's the monument. And we will see who comes up with that. You got to give me what the monument is represented on the yo-yo and the year. Oh, well, we've got one answer, but it's close but not correct. Got half of it right. Somebody's got it right. We're having trouble with the year, folks. We're having trouble with the year. Getting way back there. Yeah, those 39s, those were the Trilon and Perisphere logos. That is not a Trilon and Perisphere. So I'm still not seeing that year pop up. I think you guys know it's a World's Fair, but we're still not seeing that, the right year. I will give you a hint because I am a really nice guy and feeling really great this evening. It was the New York World's Fair. Now, you shouldn't be... yeah, okay, Rick Rentz. It's actually 64 World's Fair, 65. We refer to it as the 64 World's Fair. So I'm going to give it to Simcoe because he nailed it. It's technically 64, 65, but everybody calls that the 64 World's Fair yo-yo. So we got one for Dano the Mano, one for the Simcoe. All right, we will move on to the next question. This yo-yo is for sale on eBay. What country is it from? What country is it from? And it is a coat of arms, it turns out. I did not know. I had to look this up. I had no idea. I thought it was a little bit unusual. You see these different foreign yo-yos sometimes pop up, and this one was a little more interesting. The painted ones, they don't get to me that much, but I thought, I'm going to look this one up. This looks like it's more mass-produced. Nope, we got it. It does not start with an I, so you guys with the Indian Israels, nope, no, it does not Spain either. Nope. Nope. We're getting a lot of different countries listed, but no. I got to say, I think the Nickinator would have had it by now, guys. Sorry. I'll give you another second here, but we're not even close. Most of these aren't even in the... No, we're still not getting super close. Oh, they may be getting a little closer now. A little closer. I will give you a hint. It might be... if you happen to be deporting somebody from the United States, it might be somewhere they might go. Possibly. Just to keep things current, anyway. Yeah, deport them to Mexico. Well, yeah, I guess that's true, but I think somebody already said Mexico. Let's see. Nicaragua, getting close. Colombia, no. Oh, there we go. Simcoe. He hits it. El Salvador. This is an El Salvador yo-yo. That is the El Salvador coat of arms. El Salvador coat of arms. So Simcoe is up by 1. Dano the Mano is on the board. Everybody else is trying to score. All right. So the next one, don't put any pictures up yet. What English yo-yo demonstrator is associated with the Outspan yo-yo? What English yo-yo demonstrator is associated with the Outspan yo-yo? And I will tell you, Outspan is a orange company. I had to look that up. Yeah, they sold oranges. I think they sold orange juice too. But it's an English company called Outspan. And their main produce was oranges. And yes, they had a yo-yo campaign where this demonstrator is associated with it. And they had a Outspan yo-yo, which I believe was a tin whistler. If that helps people. And I'll give you another hint. If you've ever seen this guy, Jim E. Me. I don't know. Not that. I didn't know you were English, Jim. I thought you were Scottish. So, English, I'm not seeing any. Okay, I will give you a hint. This guy, this contest was back in this promotion was back in the 1950s. You've got to be a serious yo-yo collector to know this. I'll give you another hint. This is the strangest looking yo-yo demonstrator I've ever seen. I've seen old clips of him yo-yoing, and it's almost, oh, there it is, John Maishral. He nailed it. Art Pickles. I wish I had the video of Art Pickles doing the yo-yos. He doesn't blink at all ever. It's almost scary. I'll have to see if I can find that video for next month's show. But Art Pickles, yeah, he was a strange looking yo-yo demonstrator. So anyway, we've got Simcoe up by 2. Dano the Mano's got 1, and John Maishral is on the board with 1 as well. I think we're coming down to our last couple of questions here. Okay. What was the name of the road the Duncan Yo-Yo plant was located in? Luck, Wisconsin. Luck, Wisconsin. What road was it on? That is the Duncan plant. Give me the name of the road the Duncan Yo-Yo plant was located in Luck, Wisconsin. And I want the full name. You got to tell me if it was a boulevard or a road or a avenue or a street, or you got to give me the complete name. We got one pretty close, but not a complete name. Very close. Very close. We've got 2, almost nailed it. Oh, we're getting close now. We're getting real close. I've seen the first part show up. The second part is what is missing. Oh, there it is. Jim E. Johnson scores. Duncan Street. There it is, folks. Right there's the plant on the background there, and there is Duncan Street. So there you have it. Now you know. So Jimmy Johnson scores. Well, I think we've got maybe one more. One last one. So who's that? We got 3 with 1, and then who has 2? Is it Simcoe? Simcoe's up by 2. So to tie, somebody's going to have to beat Simcoe that's already scored a point. So anyway, in 1952, what was the price on a display box for Lucky E-Jadu contest tops? What was the price? Not yet. What was the price on those yo-yos that sold out of the display box? I don't believe the Jadu contest top ever sold in a package, but I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me on that. I certainly have never seen one. Never seen one in anybody's collection or on sale on eBay. Certainly I don't have one. I've got the loose ones. Okay. Swin bike. Okay. I was looking for something in perhaps cents. Okay, now we're 1.7. Okay, bike. No. Not the bike, the price. Okay, the price. That would be what is marked on the display box. How much you had to pay for. I don't know where some of the which. Okay, so I'm going to say the trivia question again. In 1952, what was the price? That means what you're going to pay on the display box for a Lucky E-Jadu contest top. How much is it going to cost? Not how much, Dano, not how much the box would cost. Now, well, we're getting a little closer now. I'm seeing some cents prices. I will say it is in cents. It is not in dollars. Still haven't seen that magic number come up. We're getting close. Oh, we're getting pretty close. It's going. Oh, there it is. Jimmy Johnson. Oh, my God. We are going to end 25 cents, folks. Show that display box. I don't know if you can actually see the display box there. Can we enlarge that? There's probably no way to enlarge it. It's right there in the center. You can see the display box with the price of 29 cents there. So I guess you guys are going to have to share immortality between Simcoe and Jimmy Johnson. Because I don't have a tiebreaker question. So you're just going to have to split the ego, whatever you get when you get to expand your ego. So anyway, that's about it for Yo-Yo Talk tonight. Make sure you get your nominations in for the Hall of Fame. Check the Facebook page. The link is there. I just posted it again today. Our next show is November the 6th. Make sure you make sure you red letter that day on your calendar, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as always, remember, you can never have too many yo-yos. This is Doc Lucky signing off until November 6th.